All right, so talk to us. What's happening over there?
Well, just as you rightly stated, it's an emergency session which the House has convened. The same thing is happening in the Senate. The Senate also convened an emergency session. And from what we hear from the spokesperson is that this session is to look at the timetable which INEC released for the 2027 general elections. From INEC statements, the timetable, it's as scheduled February 20th for the National Assembly and the presidential election, and the 6th of March 2027 for the governorship and state houses of assembly election. And I think that is going to be an issue for lawmakers, considering the fact that the Electoral Amendment Act is still undergoing an amendment process. So I think that is why they have convened this. And of course, if you look at the Electoral Act, it gives the Electoral Commission 360 days to prepare ahead of the next election. And so if we are going to be using the amended Electoral Act, which soon we hope it will be concluded, that will not give INEC the ample time to prepare for the election, and that is why this session has been convened. But we are here to know what are the resolution or what lawmakers are going to be discussing regarding this.
What key issues do you also think they would be talking about, apart from what you just mentioned now? And then what will be the impact of all this on the electoral process and preparations at the end of the day?
Well, specifically, what they have highlighted is that it's this very sitting, though session is supposed to resume back next week, plenary session, is supposed to resume back next week, Tuesday, but this session, from what they have highlighted, is that this is just an emergency session to look at the timetable. That is the key issue that I think is going to be considered during this session, and the whole of the session, that is what is going to be considered. And just as I stated, from the look of things, where INEC is supposed to be given 360 days to prepare ahead of the next general election, and now setting the election for the first election, the presidential and the National Assembly election for 20th of February. I think that is an issue considering the Electoral Amendment Act, which is still undergoing an amendment process. I think that is the likely impact it will have on the electoral umpire if it's going to be using the new Electoral Act if passed. That is the likely impact. That is the likely impact. Let me just stop at there. That's
okay, thank you so much, Doug Joseph, for bringing us that update. And of course, I'm sure we'll keep tabs with you to know what's happening over there. And then when the resolution is out, we'll definitely get that from you. Thank you. Do enjoy.